Hey guys, Joe here and welcome back to another episode of FreeLanda, and I am pumped for today's episode because we will be starting the Giro d'Italia since our horrific performance on Mont Ventoux in stage 12 of last year's Tour de France, where we lost over 2 minutes to Geraint Thomas and lost any hope of winning the yellow jersey. We have been waiting for our chance at redemption, and that chance starts today. So obviously we're coming off some very decent results. We won the Tour of the Alps ahead of both Bernal and Tadej Pogačar. That's stage 4, a very nice performance indeed. We came second in Catalonia despite not looking in peak form on the mountains. We came 4th in Milan-San Remo before that, and we were 2nd in Tirreno as well. It's been a very good start to the season for Landa, but now is where our season really begins. So I do think it's worth looking at our training before starting the Giro. You can see we're not quite at our fitness peak yet. We're at 89 points coming into the race. Some very slight tiredness will creep in week 3. That shouldn't be a big issue though, because we will be building up to 98% and then 100% fitness for the final week of the race. And hopefully this is the period where our fitness peak activates. So the 2021 Giro d'Italia, and you can see it starts with a 10km flat time trial, skipping forward a sprint stage, same on stage 3, slightly punchy finish maybe, stage 4, the punchiest stage of the race, some very steep hills towards the line, stage 5, again probably one for the sprinters, so a fairly quiet opening to the race for the Giro. Moving on though, stage 6, and it's the first GC day of the race. 2 climbs and we finish atop this massive climb, as you can see. Then moving on to stage 7, probably one for the sprinters, this hill some way from the line. Stage 8, and again probably one for the punchers to be fair, because we have a downhill and flat finish, but a 9km climb certainly will get rid of most of the sprinters. Stage 9 and a 40km time trial, and that of course means about 50k of time trialing, just 9 stages into the race and only 1 mountain stage so far, so we're unlikely to be in a good position at this stage in the race. However, stage 10, and it's probably the toughest day of the GC to this point. You can see climbing all throughout the day and then 2 big climbs to finish. Onto stage 11, probably a punchy stage after 200k of basically a pan flat stage. We have 2 hills to finish. Stage 12, and this is a pan flat stage, definitely one for the sprinters, no GC action in that one. Stage 13 and a hilly stage. You can see quite a few hills throughout, but again a downhill and flat section to the line will probably prevent any real GC attacks in that one. Stage 14 and a lot of climbing, really getting into Landa territory in this one. Lots of climbs, hardly any flat, a perfect stage for us. Stage 15, and it's another time trial. However, this time it's a mountain TT, so 60k of time trialing in this one. But hopefully this is the one we'll be the strongest on. Stage 16, and you can see another mountain stage. But again, we've got a downhill and then kind of a flat finish. But this will definitely be a very tough stage in the GC. Stage 17, and we're back to the sprints despite a few hills early on. Stage 18, and it's classified as a hilly stage. Pretty flat again to start, but then a very steep climb downhill to the line. Stage 19, and I do believe this could be the stage that Steven Kruijswijk lost this Giro on, of course, on the downhill after the first climb. If I'm not mistaken, this is the 2016 Giro. Of course, a big chance in the GC on stage 19. And then stage 20, in this one in real life, of course, Chavez started in the pink jersey. Nibali stole it from him by the end of the stage. Absolute drama, I expect, on this final stage. And then we do have one final stage, but it is just flat to the line. There'll be no GC action in this one. So stage 20, the final opportunity for the GC guys. So then let's take a look at our squad for this Giro d'Italia. Mikel Landa, of course, leads Team Bahrain McLaren. We've got Pello Bilbao, Damiano Caruso and Santi Buitrago as our main mountain helpers. Apart from that, we've got Domen Novak, Kevin Inkelar joins the team, and then we have 2 new Italians who joined the squad this season. We've got Giacomo Garavaglia and Paolo Baccio. Not quite sure if I said those names correctly. We'll go with it though. And so it must be said, our team is basically centred around Mikel Landa. I can't really see an out-and-out sprinter in this team. You can see Bilbao, Caruso, Buitrago, some very strong mountain helpers. So hoping we're one of the strongest teams in the mountains. So this season's Giro d'Italia of course starts with the 10k individual time trial. We've got Kung, Oliveira and Pello Bilbao, our teammate, as the three favourites. Let's see what we can do today. So as the first riders are getting underway, let's take a look at the start list in this one. And you can see Jumbo-Visma, they're focusing on Dylan Groenewegen. I certainly don't see a GC leader for Jumbo-Visma. We've got Pogacar here alongside Formolo, Gaviria and Philipsen. Very strong team for Etihad. Bora-Hansgrohe have Stefan Kung, Ackermann in the sprints, but again, no real GC leader for Bora. We also have Nairo Man, Nairo Quintana is here alongside his compatriot Superman Lopez, two big contenders in the GC right here. The Deceuninck Quickstep, again, no real GC leader from what I can see, unless maybe Bagioli has really developed, and you can see he does have some very nice hill. However, they're focusing on the sprints with Bennett and Hodge. We do have the Italian Vincenzo Nibali, who is so good in this race usually. However, he has started to decline somewhat. As you can see, Trek also have Giacone and Richie Porte. We've got Simon Yates, who could potentially be a GC player here. Only 79 mountain at the moment though. And Jack Haig, he's very close to him. Maybe he could be Mitchelton Scott's GC leader. Movistar have Marc Soler as their leader. Don't think he's quite developed enough to really challenge. We will see though what kind of form he is in. NTT have Modelo and Machete. Again, focusing on the sprints, it would seem. Education First with a pretty strong team in the mountains with both Higuita and Dan Martinez. Again, not quite sure if they've quite developed enough to really challenge in this one. And you can see Team Ineos, Richard Carapaz, the only man of their big GC guys. No Bernal, which does surprise me. No Thomas and no Froome, which doesn't surprise me quite as much. We'll see what type of form Richard Carapaz is in though. And so it must be said, I think this GC could be pretty wide open to Mikel Landa. Tadej Pogacar will be very, very difficult to beat, as we can see. We already know that though. Also Nairo Man and Superman Lopez, you can't count those guys out. And other than that, Vincenzo Nibali maybe, Simon Yates maybe, Soler maybe, but I think Pogacar, Landa, Quintana and Lopez have to be the big four favourites for the GC. Look at this guys, Nairo Quintana in the rainbow bands sets off for his time trial. Things you did not expect to see when you got out of bed this morning. But anyhow, Mikel Landa setting off after Stefan Kung, the pre-stage favourite. Our Giro d'Italia gets underway. Let's see where we are at the first time split. So it's not the best day for Landa today. A zero race day, hope for better. But of course, we're hoping to peak later in the race. We can use a bit more energy, so I'm going to go up to 78 perhaps. 1.5k to go to the first time split. It's Martin Kaiser of Astana with the best time so far. Stefan Kung only second as well at that first time split. How much time are we going to lose? We're 69th, but only 6 seconds down at the moment. And I think we can perhaps go up to 80, 4k to go now. So 2k to go for Mikel Landa in the first stage of the Giro d'Italia. Can Stefan Kung take the best time? We're unsure at the moment. And no, he goes second, 1 second down. Let's focus on Landa now though. Perhaps go up to 82, push it to the line, up to 99. How much time do we lose? 23 seconds. It's not the best TT for Landa today. I think Pogacar is coming next. Pogacar goes 6th, losing just 6 seconds today. And I think Martin Kaiser is going to win the first stage of the race. So it's a massive shock to start this Giro d'Italia because Martin Kaiser, the 33-year-old time trialist from the Netherlands, takes the win in stage 1 ahead of Stefan Kung. Worth noting, Pavel Sivkov, now a very, very good rider, 79 mountain. Maybe he could be the leader of Ineos. But looking elsewhere, Pogacar loses just 6 seconds. Nibali lost just 9 seconds. And of course, we're much further down. You can see Lopez and Quintana 16 seconds down. And Landa showing his weakness here, 23 seconds down already with some ground to make up. On we go then with stage 2 of the race. Definitely one for the sprinters today. Pretty much no climbing at all. We've got Groenewegen, Gaviria and Pascal Ackermann, the three favourites, and a very good sprinting start list at this race. So you can see the 6 riders up in today's breakaway right here, 3 minutes on the peloton. And you can see we do have a +2 day today. Bit of a shame we didn't get that in the TT. Anyhow, we move on. So as we come into the only real climb throughout the entirety of today's stage, you can see it's Cavagna on the front of the peloton. The breakaway have 1.5 minutes, so pretty certain this will be a sprint today. And I have noticed the only man who could potentially take the leader's jersey is Fernando Gaviria, 9 seconds down. I don't think anyone else within 10 seconds is really close enough or good enough in the sprints. So into the final 10k of stage 2 of this season's Giro d'Italia. It's Bora Hansgrohe on the front with Kung and Affini working for their leader. I do believe that is Pascal Ackermann. There he is, the German champion. We're just staying right towards the front of this group, and of course just making sure we stay in the front group so we don't lose any time today. So 6k to go. I'm currently on Davide Cimolai's wheel. I think we'll just try and sit there. I would like to take someone like Tadej Pogacar's wheel. Can't really see him at this point though. There is Dylan Groenewegen. Let's take his wheel if we can. Try and cause some havoc in the sprint chains. Groenewegen much further back than he would like. Ackermann is right on the front. So is Seneschal and Hodge. Here comes Volscheid. Where is Ackermann though? Nowhere to be seen at this point. Groenewegen is nowhere coming into the final kilometre. He's given up on the sprint today. We don't have a chance. And up the road, I'm not sure who's going to take it. I do believe it will be Sebastian Milano, the man from YouTube Pro Cycling, takes the win ahead of Sam Bennett and the other Colombian, Fernando Gaviria, in 3rd place. We'll just cruise in across the line in the main peloton. So great to see Sebastian Milano on the top step, just 26 years old and beating some of the world's best sprinters. Of course, mission accomplished for us, finishing in the front group. We move then on to stage 3 of the Giro. Again, a pretty flat stage for the most part. Some slightly longer hills, but pretty much one for the sprinters. Again, I would say Gaviria, Groenewegen and Ackermann are the 3 favourites. I'm going for my boy Sebastian Milano again though. So again, it's a pretty small breakaway, just 5 riders up the road in this one. Pretty sure they don't have a chance and that this will come in for a sprint. Again, good to see a +2 day today. So it's Stefan Kung on the front for Bora Hansgrohe, and you can see some echelons are forming. 32 riders in the group ahead and a big gap to the group behind at the moment. We need to make sure we stay in the front group here. So we have just 8k to go in the stage. Still Bora Hansgrohe on the front as we still have 45 seconds to that group behind. I've come right to the front of this group. Don't want to take any risks at all. We do have a very short climb coming up and I want to be right at the front of this group for that. So here we go. Baccio can go up to maybe 90 on the front. Costa on the front for Etihad. Now Stefan Kung, Baccio making sure we stay in a good position up to 95 very briefly with him. I'm not sure if this gap behind is going to count. We're not going to risk it though. Maybe we can follow Ackermann briefly here. 3.5k to go. In fact, let's just pace with Baccio up to 92, I think. Making sure we stay in this front group if we can, because Ackermann, Philipsen, Gaviria and Bennett are off the front into the final kilometres. Baccio pacing them back. Gaviria looks in the perfect position to take the stage. Bennett, Ackermann versus Fernando Gaviria. It's a very close finish, but Fernando Gaviria wins the stage and I do believe he takes the pink jersey. If we look behind, let's see if this gap behind actually counts. So I was right in that Fernando Gaviria moves into the Maglia Rosa, taking it off Martin Kaiser, who had it for a couple of stages. Still a very good Giro for this man, but Fernando Gaviria, the new holder of the leader's jersey. And it's classic PCM, isn't it? We were 12th on the day. We made sure we stayed in that front group. But if we scroll down, absolutely no gaps at all, despite there being quite a few gaps I saw on the roads. Stage 4 is here then, guys, and it's the first punchy stage of this year's Giro and potentially GC day as well. You can see 2 climbs and then some shorter climbs, but some very steep hills in that final, and it is Tadej Pogacar, the pre-race favourite. We've got Higuita and Rui Costa as well. We do make the favourites list. Let's see what we can do in this one. So it's typical, isn't it? Another 0 race day on a potentially GC day after getting that 0 in the time trial and then a +2 on those 2 flat stages. Hopefully our race day luck does improve slightly later in the race. So you can see up the road the biggest break of the race so far, and it does include the previous Maglia Rosa Martin Kaiser. You can see the rest of the group right here, 3 minutes on the peloton. So something I do like doing when I do these kind of previous parcours at the Grand Tours in PCM is take a look at the results from the real life race in Pro Cycling Stats and then compare them to how they pan out in PCM. And so in the 2016 Giro, stage 4 on this very stage, it was Diego Ulissi taking the stage win. Tom Dumoulin was second, and it was about 25 riders in the front group. Let's see if it's that selective again today. So we enter the San Pietro climb for the second time today. The first time it was pretty quick. No one really went out the back though. And again, we're just going to sit in for now. Don't think any damage is going to really be done on this climb here. So there has just been a fall, and Jack Haig and Sergio Higuita were involved. They're going to be further back now, and you can see much further back. That has put pay to Haig and Higuita's chances today, and just 3 riders from our team now in this group. I'm waiting for Caruso to get the water, and then we may do some pacing on the front. So just about 20k to go in the stage. It's been a good one so far, and expecting it to explode right now with these massive hills coming up in the final. It's Damiano Caruso on the front. Let's make sure we stay right on Tadej Pogacar's wheel into these hills now. So you can see it's a mad pace set by Damiano Caruso. We're going to have to go up to 90 just to make sure we stay in the group with our Italian teammate. Lopez coming to the front. I thought he was thinking about an attack right there. Let's just take position for now. We've used a lot of energy to get to this point, and it seems the pace will die now with Caruso struggling, making sure we're staying right at the front of this group because I want to follow any attacks if they go off the front. So 14k to go and just 42 riders in this group, expecting that to come down again after this climb. We're trying to stay here on 85. Think we should just be able to do that. Let's take position again in this group. I think we can probably try and attack on that final climb, but if we can, we will wait for that final climb. But it does seem Bagioli is trying something here. We need to grab their wheels. Let's go onto Marc Soler, and Andrea Bagioli for Deceuninck Quickstep has gone off the front. Ackermann unable to stay with him. Surprised to see the likes of Ackermann and Bennett still in this group, but Andrea Bagioli off the front for Quickstep here. 10k to go. So 8k to go in the stage. Let's use our energy gel. Come up to 88 because Bagioli still off the front. Zakarin about to go as well. Let's try and come to the front on 88. What is Ackermann doing flying up this climb? Formulo coming as well. Let's try and follow the Italian. It seems Bagioli has been caught by Zakarin and Ackermann, and look how steep this is. Maybe we can try and push the tempo up to 90. Try and attack up to Bagioli with Mikel Landa. It seems we will go straight past the Italian. Let's continue this attack. Lopez and Pogacar, the only men on our wheel at the moment. Nibali joins us with 5k to go and just 5 riders in this front group at the moment. So I'm not going to do the pacing in this group. I'll follow Bagioli though. I do think that group of 15 riders are going to get the same time as us. So let's just follow the Italian here and try and sprint for the stage win if we can. Pogacar, Nibali, Lopez, and here we go. The group behind join us right here. We're going to lead everyone into the final kilometre with Mikel Landa sprinting for the line. Can we take the stage victory? It doesn't look like it because somehow Ackermann and Bennett still in this group. I think we'll finish in the top 10 and a very selective day, just 20 riders in the front group in the end. I have absolutely no idea how Pascal Ackermann and Sam Bennett managed to get in that front group. You can see the amount of climbing on the day. They were the only 2 sprinters who managed it, and just 20 riders in the front group. I'm pretty sure the winner of this Giro will come from these 20 riders. And if we go further down, you can see the big losers on the day are Mitchelton Scott and Simon Yates. Yates 1 minute and 30 seconds down already in the GC. And of course, his teammate Jack Haig, 56th on the day, 3 minutes and 30 down. Both of them could be out of the GC battle already. And you can see Higita also lost 3 minutes 30 after falling. So before heading into stage 5, I've been looking at my fitness meticulously all season long, and you can see our fitness peak has now activated. This is the first day, and you can see 12 to 18 days. We're on stage 5, about 15 days remaining. That should take us pretty much to the end of the Giro d'Italia. I would say pretty perfectly timed, if I do say so myself. Hopefully we can really see the benefits of this. And so you've already seen it, stage 5 is classified as a flat stage. I do think most sprinters will make it to the finish, especially Ackerman and Bennett, judging by yesterday's stage. However, a few guys could go out the back. A very long and tough stage as well, so let's see how it goes. So on this section of climbing, I'm going to pace pretty hard on the front with Inklar, Novak and Baccio. You can see we have a downhill section and then more climbing. I'm going to try and pace all over these climbs, try and get rid of the sprinters if we can. So you can see Doma Novak pacing very hard on the front. Inklar is now done though. Baccio pretty much done as well. Same with Doma Novak. Let's try and come to the front with Garavaglia now. Try and pace with the Italian. See if we can get anyone out the back. Just 2k to go on the climb though. So Garavaglia pushing it as much as he can. You can see everyone in the peloton will be feeling this. I don't really think we're going to be able to drop any of the main sprinters though. You can see the guys that have currently gone out the back and 150 riders still in this group. So Pavel Sivkov, the man in the Maglia Rosa on stage 4, and you can see 15k to go in the stage. This is pretty much destined to be a mass sprint. So 7.5k to go in the stage. Etihad again on the front for their boy Fernando Gaviria. Garavaglia putting us in a very nice position, it must be said. We do have some very slight hills coming up, and there is a fairly steep hill just before the finish in kind of 2 to 1 kilometer to go. So let's push it with Garavaglia up to 85. Not sure if this potentially could be for a puncher instead of a sprinter, but you can see the likes of Bennett, Gaviria, Machete all moving up now into the final kilometers. Garavaglia putting us in a very nice position. We're just coming into that climb now, so let's go up to 99, potentially try and grab Milano's wheel with Garavaglia. He's done very nicely right there. Let's try and sprint for it with him. Try and take us into the line. We'll follow Tadej Pogačar up the road. Fernando Gaviria gets his second win of the race, just beating Sebastian Milano to second, Ackerman in third, and I think we will finish in the top 15 here. So Fernando Gaviria gets his second win of the Giro, and it's a Colombian 1-2 here in Italy. Again, we're 12th with Landa, finishing behind Sivkov in the pink jersey, but again, making sure we're finishing in the front group. On to stage 6, guys, and it's the final stage of this first episode of the Giro d'Italia. We're going to do 6, 5, 5, and then 5 stages in the final and 4th episodes. Anyhow, it's the biggest stage of this Giro so far for Mikel Landa because it's the first mountain stage of the race. 2 massive climbs to get over and a big chance for us today. You can see it's the 4 men I outlined at the beginning: Pogačar, Quintana, Lopez, alongside Mikel Landa, who are the 4 favourites on the day. Sivakov here as well. We'll see what Vincenzo Nibali can do and the rest of the guys. And you can see we're now up to 96% fitness and our fitness peak arriving just in time. Oh yes then guys, it's a +4 day for Mikel Landa. This is how it feels to plan your fitness properly. Absolutely love to see it. So I do believe we have the biggest breakaway of the race so far. 11 riders up the roads. No one I particularly notice as being very dangerous. So hopefully we can keep this lead in check and potentially challenge for that stage win. So as we're having such a good day, as I like to do, I'm pacing on the front with Novak and Garavaglia. Let's increase this to 78 as we come to the top and the steepest section of this climb. So we're over the top of that first climb, still 140 riders in this group. Let's just cruise into the foot of this final climb. So 35k to go. It's Joe Dombrowski and Van Drame on the front, Egitoire and Etihad powering things along for Lopez and Pogačar, and that tells me they're both feeling very, very good today. Anyhow, we're feeling very good as well. However, I think I'm going to wait for this kind of steeper section of climbing closer to the finish to try and do some pacing. So 16k to go in the stage. It's Gianni Moscon on the front. I do want to try and come to the front of the peloton. At this point, we're not in a good position at all, and Vendrame coming back to the front for Lopez. He's not too close to the front at this point. We're trying to catch him in the kind of the pecking order in the peloton, but as you two are pacing so hard for Lopez, he must be feeling fantastic today. Let's try and move up as the pace now slows on the right hand side and do some pacing with Santi Pedrago. He comes past Jon Izagirre, and let's see what we can do on the front now. So it's Santiago Pedrago doing a fantastic job on the front for Mikel Landa on this climb. He's pretty much done now though, as one rider remaining in the breakaway. I think we're going to have to go with Damiano Caruso. Less than 50 riders now in this peloton. Let's try and reduce it as much as possible. Then we have a section of flats, which we can't really pace too hard on with Caruso. We'll go on maybe 70 or 75 on this section. 10k to go in the stage. Then we need to hammer it up that uphill section again. So 7.5k to go in the stage. Richard Carapaz on the front. That tells me Sivakov is definitely Ineos's leader. But anyhow, we're just coming into this uphill section. Try to rebuild some yellow. I think we can hammer it now with Damiano Caruso. Straight up to 90 on this section. Let's really, really try and push it. Pogačar on our wheel. You can see Nibali, Quintana, Lopez all here with 5k to go. Nairo Quintana seems to want to attack. We're not going to let him go at this point though with Mikel Landa. Caruso is going to pump it up to 99. Then we're going to try something with Mikel Landa. Here we go. I think that's Carapaz on our wheel. Mikel Landa on the attack. Quintana tries to follow. Pogačar, Lopez, Nibali, Baggioli all trying to follow with 3.5k to go. Can we ride these guys off our wheel? What an attack by Landa. Quintana is now dropped. Let's push this up to 88 with Landa. We've got 10 seconds on 6 riders. Is it worth waiting for them with this uphill section still to go? I think we just need to push this. We'll use our energy gel, probably too late. Up to 85. Oh, we're just going to have to go 99. Landa trying to hold on for the stage win in the Grand Tour. Soler is coming back. Nibali, Lopez, Quintana and Pogačar. I think we're going to do it. Baggioli's coming. But Mikel Landa wins stage 6 of the Giro d'Italia. What a win. We deliver in front of Nibali, Baggioli, Soler, Quintana, Lopez and Pogačar. And further behind, Sivakov will lose the Maglia Rosa today. Carapaz in 9th behind him. Then we have Felina and Zakarin. We have done it, guys. The first Grand Tour stage win of this series, and I am so pumped about that. We didn't manage to take any time on the group behinds. That is completely fine though. We've got our stage victory. And so Lopez, a strong performance in second. Baggioli, a very, very good Giro d'Italia for the 22-year-olds at this point. Quintana, Nibali, Soler and Tadej Pogačar. Those seem to be your 7 GC contenders at this Giro d'Italia. I thought Pavel Sivakov could have been stronger today, but the 23-year-old loses 42 seconds and the race leader's jersey in the process. And that does mean Tadej Pogačar, the new wearer of the Maglia Rosa, just 3 seconds ahead of Nibali, 4 ahead of Lopez, and we're up to 4th place alongside Marc Soler. In the points classification, Sam Bennett just about leads Gaviria and Ackermann. We're in 6th here, 2nd of the climbers it would seem. We're 3rd in the KOM competition and Tadej Pogačar leads the White Young Riders jersey. So I am pumped with how this Giro is going so far. It's looking pretty good for us. I think we've timed our fitness pretty well and we're looking very good on the mountains as we've just proven. And so in the next episode, we will start off with a flatter stage, probably one for the sprinters again. Stage 8 classified as a hilly stage. This climb is pretty long. I don't think many of the sprinters will get over both of these climbs. Stage 9, and it's the stage we of course are dreading. 39 kilometer time trial. This is where we're going to lose time if we lose it. but then we can recover some of that time, hopefully, on the mountainous stage 10. Really looking forward to this stage, potential for some massive gaps in the GC, and then we have stage 11 with a punchy finish. So all that remains to be said, guys, is if you enjoyed this episode of FreeLanda, definitely drop a like on the video. That really helps my channel out. Subscribe to my channel if you're new, and let me know what you thought down in the comments below. And yeah, that's all from me. Cheers, guys.